Hi, I'm going to go through a past paper on dynamics and expressive techniques. And when we're looking at dynamics and expressive techniques, it's in two parts. Dynamics is the volume, how loud and soft it is. Does it start off soft? Does it start off loud? Does it change during the song? Also in dynamics, you're looking at whether the tempo slows down or fastens up. Do they use pauses in there? When we're looking at expressive techniques, that's when we're looking at what are the instruments doing to create expression. And it affects the overall tone colour of how they sound. So expressive techniques ties in a lot with tone colour as well. Anyway, so here is an example. It's a past HSC question from 2006. How are dynamics and expressive techniques explored in this excerpt? For each section and instruments, we need to consider the following: the volume, any changes in dynamics, speed and tempo changes, the use of climax, playing techniques that help create expressions like harmonics, growls, muted, fluttered tongue, pizzicato, drum brushes, etc., the tone colour of the instruments, the register and range of instruments, and the meter and beat. Is it regular, free or irregular? Anyway, so we'll have a little listen first to the start of it. Okay, I'll just stop it there for the moment. And we're just going to look at section one. Section one is the intro part of the song. And we can hear there are two instruments, the trumpet and the electric guitar. Let's start off with the trumpet. Let's listen to that again. Okay, so we've got the trumpet that starts first. And it starts on its own, and it starts on a very high note. It's very loud, and then it slides. It goes down. Then we hear that slide down to a lower register where it plays a fill, and it's playing in a rubato or free time. Rubato means they can fasten up and play, fasten up and slow down in their own time, which creates a sort of expression. And usually soloists do that in a performance. When he's playing, he ends with a growl, and you'll be able to hear it at the end where it sounds a little bit rough. And he uses another technique called flutter tonguing, which gives like a sound in some parts of it, okay? So it's got extremes in register and also in dynamics. So it starts really loud and then it's very soft towards the end of the part. So let's just listen to that again. See that high bit and slow down. Now we've got the guitar that's answering that the trumpet. And it's like playing a quick fill-in passages. He uses slides and bends, giving that blues feel. Okay, so there's a couple of things here about expressive techniques that sometimes are a little bit difficult to hear. So let's go with the electric guitar first. Okay, a lot of electric guitars, especially in jazz and in blues and in some rock, they use lots of slides and bends as an expressive technique. So I've got a little example here of this guy playing, which will show it to you. So he's using a couple of things there. He's using, at the end, he's shaking his finger. That is vibrato. But when he actually moves the string up, he bends the note up. I missed it there. That's the vibrato. Let me go back here. So that's a bend up. And a slide is when he slides his finger from one note to another. It kind of gives it that type of a blues type of sound. For the trumpet, I've got an example of what growl and flutter tonguing is. So if you listen to this guy, he'll explain it to you.
Similar way, but are both executed quite differently. In case you're not sure how growling and flutter tonguing sound, allow me to demonstrate. I'm going to play a simple scale fragment, first with my regular sound, then with a growl, and lastly with a flutter tongue.
Okay, and in that example that we heard, that jazz example, James Morrison, he uses those two techniques, a little bit of a rough sound and a sound when he's playing. You know, it makes it, gives it a lot of expression to the song. Anyway, so then we move on to the next section, which is now. So this is effectively the verse, the start of the song. But as you can hear, it's not in a strict tempo. It's like in a free time. In that bit, again, it's extreme of register with the trumpet going up very high, playing an octave higher. He's squeezing that sound out. He's using a little bit of that growl as well, and a little bit of flutter tonguing in there to create expression. He's also sliding up. He slides up to the note. Okay. So if I go down here, he plays vibrato where it's got a bit of a shaking sound, uses flutter tonguing, starts off MF, moderately loud. Then when the phrase is repeated, it's repeated softer in dynamics. Again, he's got extremes in range and register, as the third phrase is played very loudly in an octave higher. The trumpet player slides up to the top note in this section and he ends the section softly. In the electric guitar is playing the accompaniment. It has a clear tone, and the guitarist plays runs in between phrases and a simple chordal accompaniment in the background. In this section, both instruments speed up and slow down in tempo. The guitarist follows the trumpet where there is a sense of free rhythm. And again, it ends very soft at the end of that section. Now we get into the third section. So now we've got a regular rhythm, and we've got two other instruments that have been added. So if I go back to here in this third section, now we've got a regular tempo, which is maintained by the drums, and the drummer is playing like a swing fill, which is triplet fill on the cymbals. He's using brushes to give a softer sound and jazz effect. You've got the trumpet again. Sometimes you have a muted sound that squeezes the sound on some notes in the phrases. The electric guitars continue to play chords, but this time with a regular syncopated rhythm in the background, and he slides up and down from chord to chord. You also can hear, I don't know if you can hear it through the video, but there is a double bass being played, and it's playing pizzicato. That means he's using his fingers to pluck the strings. He's not using the bow, and it's a walking bass that also maintains this tempo and rhythm, consistent rhythm without. The ensemble also, we'll hear it in a minute, uses rest. You'll hear where they all pause together and stop, and it adds to the tone colour and mood of the piece. Okay, so let's keep listening to that last bit. Can you hear that da da of the guitar sliding? Bit of mute there, that squeezing of the note. that squeeze again of the mutes. You hear the drum? Okay, and there you go. Hopefully that's helpful for you. A good example of dynamics and expressive techniques.